the third episode of Career Journeys, Real World, Real Insights. And today we have Aakash Gupta. Aakash, if you have the permission, I would like to introduce you to the people over here. Should I go ahead with it?
Sure. Go ahead with
You have another option. You can introduce yourself.
First, you start with it. I'll carry forward it.
Great. Thank you. So, welcome to the third episode of our podcast series. Today, we have the pleasure of hosting Aakash Gupta. I'll put him on pin and I will also go on pin. Thank you, Aakash. So, today we have a pleasure of hosting Aakash, a talented game developer with 3 years of experience in the industry. Am I correct, Aakash?
Yes.
Thank you. Akash is a creative and detail-oriented professional specializing in game programming and 3D assets development. His journey began at Vellore Institute of Technology, Bhopal, officially. Unofficially, Akash will share what happened.
So it's a long backstory
Just,
when.
just give it one more minute,
Yeah,
Akash.
sure.
So officially, his journey began at Vellore Institute of Technology, Bhopal, where he pursued B.Tech in computer science with a specialization in gaming technology. Throughout his career, Akash has demonstrated a passion for creative, immersive, and engaging gaming experience across mobile and PC platforms. Currently, he is heavily involved in creating games using UEFN, which is Unreal Editor for Fortnite. He has contributed his expertise to companies such as Fantasy 11, Fantasy Private Limited, A Plus Associates, and Mayovi Game Studio, to name few of them. Today, we are excited to dive into Akash's journey, exploring his experiences, insights, and advice for aspiring game developers. So, without any further delay, let's welcome Akash to the podcast. So, Akash, welcoming you again to the third postcard podcast of Career Journeys Real World Real Insight. So, it's here over to you.
Thank you, Sachi, for such a beautiful and great introduction. So, yeah, so let's start up with who I am. I'm from Mumbai. I'm Aakash Gupta. I've pursued science from 11th. So after 10th, I pursued as a science student, where I got familiar with computer science. And there was the first time where I came to know how things work, how everything, every application has been developed. So there's something which we can do, and everyone is making something. So from being from a very young age, I was very into creative aspect of life. I used to do art, craft, and creativity is a very important part of my life. So it made me happy. It made me feel like who I am. So yeah, that was my personality. And after 10th, I was very much curious to how to pursue life, because there are multiple opportunities with you. Either you take commerce, you take science, or you have arts. So looking forward with all that creativity and all that knowledge what I had, I chose science as my option. And once my creativity met computer science, it made me think of different possibilities what enables us for as a future. So once I was in 12th, it was my final month near the JEE mains exam, and at that exact same time the COVID hit, and there was a panic situations everywhere. What exactly we have to do? When will the exams be? And everyone was scared of what exactly should we do? Is healthcare a good? Is computer science good? Which college will we choose? Was one of the major challenge for us. So while the greatest decision of my life was very challenging for me to what exactly I should pursue. So one of the best advice I got from my parents and my brother, who was my mentor, was to list down what you love. So this was very much important, to list down what all things you love, and then deciding what can be a better career opportunity in your life and what you are good at. So these three were, so I started noting down what do I love, what are the opportunities I can get it from, and what all opportunities we have in India to achieve what I want. So it was the last month we had our JEE mains exams, 12 marks exams, and I was listing down all the aspects what I like. I like creativity, I like coding, I like maths. I can. choose maths as my future career. I like cars, mechanics, and all. So I was very much like confused. What exactly should I pursue? But then with seeing my marks, where I'm standing, and what all opportunities I have, I figured it out that creativity and programming can be combined to a game development career, which was started by VIT Bhopal, Vellore Institute of Technology. So the Bhopal branch offered this very good opportunity where I can get my most of the skills aligned with their plans of action. So what?
Yeah, that was a disturbance.
No worries. So after that, after 1 month of struggling period, we decided to choose with the gaming background with computer science. It was a very challenging task to convince your parents in from being in India, because gaming is something which people just do for spending time, not as a full-time career or a full-time study. So. Uh, it was a very hard decision to convince parents about how this can be a very huge asset for us, and how people and the new generation, upcoming generations, are so much interested in this background. But once I was into my career, into the VIT Bhopal Institute, I came across all the aspects of game development process and how it is linked with computer science. Because games are not just what you see; it needs every little aspects to be have a logical aspect to it. So suppose if you're seeing a character walking it has a logic to it. So it needs all the mathematical calculations, all those small minor ability to understand. So it's not like you are creative to you're free of maths and all the aspects of other subjects. You should be capable of it. And so that's how I started it. I started, as I was more of a creative person, I started with 3D asset development. So it is one of the field in game development where you create characters, you create 2D arts, and you mostly focus on the parts which people see, not the logic behind what you see. So I would like to share my screen for some of my project demonstration based on that topic. If
Yeah, I've
it's
given the screen sharing.
okay, sure. So I think you can see my screen, right?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, sure. Okay, so this is the first year of my college where I started with 3D asset development, where in this is what you see: a house, a car, a character model, right? So basically this is the artistic part of game development where you create what people see. Then we move towards the more logical parts where you code everything, how cars should move and all. So this is just small demonstration of all the projects what I have created in 3D and 2D space. So moving forward with it, currently so that's how I started my first year with in the game development process. It was very much new to me. Everyone will give thousands of suggestions to learn this, learn that, but it's ultimately your choice what exactly you like, what you want to pursue as. So uh, that's how it started. Then the next phase, what I'll say is what you love to do and what your college is teaching is two aspects which you have to make a proper balance with in gaming industry, because every day a new emerging technology comes up every single day. So suppose today you're good at something, you have to be good at something else next day. So basically, that's how my career started in game development. It was a very mixed feeling of how I'll prove my parents that gaming can be a very good career opportunity. But here, after 4 years, I can proudly say that I've achieved and made my parents proud. There is a future in game development industry.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Aakash, for sharing. And I'm sure you have more to share a lot. But before you go ahead with whatever information you have given, it
Hmm.
shows that when you were deciding on this career, there were a lot of bubbles and going on in your stomach and maybe in your mind as well. So we want to know, how did you finalize on this decision? See, right now you are there, and after 4 years, you feel it's a very good decision. But for the
Hmm.
students who have to enter this field and they want to enter, like
Hmm.
what are the areas they should look into for themselves as well as in the career? What options are available for them so that their financial stability is taken care of?
Hmm. Okay, sure. So, while choosing as a even if when I was at that stage, I had multiple options in my mind. It was like one is fashion because I liked fashion, game development, just art. There are colleges which provide you just the art side of the things where you can demonstrate all the creativity part of it, and there are multiple fields, right? So the main part what I did was to list down all those opportunities which are currently available, and what all I used to go through their websites, check what all. So suppose it's a 4-year program, I'll see what all they teach in each and every program, and am I interested in learning all those things. So once I saw fashion, it had 5 to 6 major points what they are teaching in their colleges, and I talked to the senior college people who were already studying the same course. I used to text them on Quora, ask them, ki, how is your journey going on? What does they teach? What are the job opportunities after that? So it was literally a 5 to 6 page of documentation what I did. My father used to push कि if you want to talk to me about anything, list down the points and then show me कि what exactly you're talking about. So that was I saw what exactly fashion technology is teaching us, how what is game development, because that time game development is not just playing games or creating games. It has so many aspects of it, and in game development you can survive with one single leaf. Then I listed all the mechanical. So suppose automobile, I was into cars and all. So what all people teach in mechanical engineering, what all opportunities after mechanical engineering we have. So these were the major steps what I took. One of the best side was asking people on Quora how's their life going, what exactly is the faculty or how is the college environment. So these were most of the points what I focused while choosing my career, and why I chose game development. Definitely, everyone who play games are once they hear the word game development and this is can be a career. Wow, it was very fascinating for me, and I talked with people. Okay, so which college offers these courses? I think SRM, VIT. There are multiple private colleges who provide these facilities. They're specific to game art colleges in Mumbai also, and in I think I don't remember now the location, but there are 2 3 colleges at that time. Now IITs, even IIT Mumbai has a game development career opportunity with them, where Ubisoft and very big companies have their offices inside the IIT Mumbai campus. So they have a very small workstation where students can directly learn from the very good creators out there. Like Ubisoft games, if you have heard, they are most famous creators out there. They've published many many fascinating games. So one the time when I was choosing, there were only 6 to 7 opportunities. One was SRM, one was Manipal, one was VIT, and there were few game design specific colleges where art and game design is focused. There are 2 3 colleges in Pune. I really don't remember their names right now, but uh, there are many. There is one in Bangalore which and its name back I'm not sure with the names right now, but mostly there are colleges right now which are providing. In fact, in India now they have started with MTech. So after BTech you do MTech. So previously we didn't had opportunities in game development to pursue MTech. So suppose someone wants to do further studies, so they'll have to go outside India. But now with changing time, we are seeing more institutes coming into MTech space in game development.
So,
So
Akash, the
yes.
list of the institutes, maybe we can share it later. because we have some of the institutes, but some names we need to recall. So exact list, maybe we can share it later. So all those who want to know the institute's name, you can send the question over here on the chat and we will share the list with you. Is that okay? Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Paragam. And we'll give you the exact list of the colleges. Yeah, thank you, Raghav. And one question to you, Akash. When you said BTech and MTech for the computer game designing, is it advisable for a student to directly go for BTech in game, or should they go for computer science or information technology? Which is better?
So if you'll ask me personally, it's better to go in computer science first, because game development is a skill which can be learned as a hobby as well. Okay, definitely, pursuing something very detailed oriented is very good. You will be master of it, but it limits your capabilities of expanding yourself. So suppose if you're going for a college which is very much specific onto a very single topic, it limits your opportunities in the world of industry. So it, as I have shifted my industry, like every year I have explored each and every category. As I was a computer science student and gaming was just a part of it, I was able to see a lot variety of things where I can choose from. So I can go for a web development where I can create websites. I can, any time of my life, I can go for software development, cyber security. All those things are a part of computer science. But if you go for a course where you're specifically to game design or just game programming, you limit your possible opportunities, what you'll have in future. Because it might be at that point you are thinking you are liking it, but after pursuing it there can be a change of mind where you think you have not liking it. So I'll, if I was there, that's the reason I didn't went for specific colleges. I went for computer science with gaming technology. So it gives me more flexibility to change my stream.
So that means computer science in BTech, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any other educational routes through which a student can enter into this field?
There are many there. So degree doesn't matter at a state where when you have the skills.
Hmm.
So more than degree, I've seen people with electrical background doing game development. Few of my colleagues come from electrical background where they used to do electrical and stuff, and they gradually liked computer science. They learned by themselves on YouTube, and then they are into the gaming industry right now.
Is
So
gaming industry only for engineers?
no.
So what is required as a quality a person should have or education? If not engineers, then what something they should definitely go for? Or anyone from any background?
Definitely, and not anyone from any background. It will be a very, very struggling phase for them. And for choosing that way, like where you are not an engineer and you want to be a game developer, it's like you're struggling a lot. You'll have to have patience, endurance. All this things is very much required if you're not from engineer, because there are multiple terms which you'll never understand because you're not an engineer. Because engineering gives you the foundation where you can understand the upper layer of game development. You can scale yourself to a level where you are happily working, but to get the skill mastered, engineering is definitely needed. Because without engineering it limits your thinking. Engineering provides you multiple, it will teach you multiple ways of calculating how to talk to computers, because computer learn understands some different language. So engineering is part of, is a very, very foundational base of game development. But I've seen people coming from different backgrounds, because they were not happy with what they chose, and they gradually tried to learn. Definitely, for suppose the task for them it took 1 year, I can do the same task in 6 months because I have a more fundamental understanding of the industry. So that I'll say. And for basic qualifications, definitely I'll say understanding, and having a good mathematics background, understanding maths, understanding computer science, is the base thing, because if you don't know how to use a computer, and how you are not familiar with maths, calculations, physics, so then it's a very hard task for you, because games, how ball goes, how thing works, everything needs maths, physics, and how you can convey the same formulas to computer. These three things are very important. So these can be a foundational aspect.
So basically, a student who has a love for maths, physics, computer science is the best fit for it, and also with a creative mental mind
Yeah, creativity is the
and logical
big
abilities as well.
logical aspects you gain day by day. It's
Hmm.
not someone is born with. The
Hmm.
more problems you face in your life, the more better you get of solving them,
Hmm.
is what I feel.
Can a student pursuing bachelor's in computer applications, or let's say BE or BSc in information science, technology and computer science, can also go for it? Will they also be learning similar concepts as they do in engineering?
Not similar concept, but at least they will know how to handle a computer. But definitely no, because games, computer engineering in computer science is like understanding each and every part of your computer, which you will not learn in BSc or something, because they just show you the cream of the computer science, how you can use just the cream to survive the industry. But computer science engineering teaches you how each and everything is made, like how every part of your computer works, what exactly happens when you press a key on your keyboard. But in information technology or the BSc degrees, they teach you tools. They don't teach you fundamentals, they teach you tools to perform certain tasks.
So what
So
I see is a basic difference between an optometrist and an eye specialist.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Also, we would like to know that you said game designing is much more deeper than just what it looks in the at the outer surface. So, would you
Hmm.
like to throw some light that what are the inner aspects of game designing in terms of the languages students should know even when they before they want to enter into the field? Any
Okay.
specific languages, and also if you can share the type of work you do throughout the day, what type of work nature is it?
Okay, sure. Before diving so deep into it, I like to categorize game development overall. Okay. So game development is divided into three major parts. Okay. The first part of game development is game programming. So what game programmers do is create the logic. They need the highest level of mathematics, physics, and logical aspect, logic building thing. So problem solving, finding new ways is what game programmers do. Then the second part comes to game designers. These people are more of a story narrators, or like what we say is a creative mind who can imagine multiple stories, can create fun aspects of games. So these are game designers. And then comes the game artist who likes to draw, who likes to create uh, aspects. So look, suppose if you like 2D art, you like 3D art. 3D art is something what game characters look like. So game development is broadly divided into three parts: game programming, game design, and game art. So now coming to the game design aspect, what you asked me. So game designing has three to four states, which starts with story. Every game needs a story. So story, how, which target audience. So game designers are very much into what thinking about who is your target audience, who for whom you are creating the game. Is the game concept or the game idea is fit for that age group? Will this idea be worth creating it? Like if you're going to spend 1 year on a game, game designers are responsible for planning each and every step. These designers will once come up with a very big documentation. The part of a game designers is documenting each and everything: age group, art style, story narration, characters background, how they come up, how the story will flow, what all opportunities the character will have. Is each so for a for a person to be a game designer, they should be very detailed oriented. They should not miss a single thing. If they are detailed oriented, they are specific to each and every detail of things in their life, they can be a very good game designer. And then the second part of game designing is to connect all these stories to, pass it, to make a way where game programmers can understand it. Okay, because game programmers have more of a logical thinking, they cannot understand stories and all. So game designers are also responsible for conveying what they have there in their head, to document it and send it to the next person who is going to give the logic to it. Game designers are also responsible for what they have thought is coming as an output. So they always, their part is very difficult. They have to always suggest better ways or new ways. So suppose one, they created an idea, decide when they see the output, if it's not like what they want, they have to recreate the idea, and it's a repetitive task. It needs patience. So for a game designer, detail oriented, patience, and everyday thinking new ideas which people will like, which audience will like, is very important.
So we see game development has three major components. One is game programmer, the other one is game designer, and the third one is game artist.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
these three people, these three departments are to be taken care of by three different types of people.
Yeah.
And over here, you are handling game designing part.
Here in India, it's hard to find people. They have not divided categories like these. So once you are into this field, you have to be creative. Also, you are game designer, you are game programmer, and if there is a need, you are game artist as well. But currently, where I am most of my part is of game designing and game programming.
So multitasking abilities are required to survive in India in this field.
Definitely.
Okay, in India, this is what is happening. Could you share something about abroad? What is the scope and how it works over there?
Okay. And in abroad, it's very, they're too specific. So suppose for a game, there is one game called GTA. Okay, 10,000 people have made that one game. So everyone and every single, they even hire a guy who can create leaves and trees. So the person who can just create trees perfectly also get a job. They do not need to learn other aspects of game development. They can be good at environment art. So game art can be divided into environment art, character art, 2D art, uh, animations, rigging. Rigging is a concept where you add bones to the character. So suppose my hands are working, it has bones. So in game also you have to add bones. So there is rigging, there is animations, there are 2D art, 3D art, character, environment, small assets. So out of India, every these aspects are divided by people, and each one are better in their own specific domain. If someone is good at character building, they are good at character building. Someone is creating chairs, tables, houses, they are good at it. So that's how detailed oriented or specific they are in abroad. But if in India, you'll see they'll just say game artist. You are creating characters, you are creating assets, you are creating trees, you are the only one who's animating it, you are adding wounds. So that's how different it is here and in abroad.
Yeah, thank. That was nice knowing that at least, sorry, 10,000 people working on one game abroad. So in India, what is the number of people working on one game from your experience?
I've seen 300, 500 people as well in good gaming companies where people are divided into categories where they cumulative make games. But it's hard to start as a fresher. It's hard to start with a very big company, because in such companies their minimum requirement is like 3 years of experience or 4 years of experience. So every fresher has to start with a team of 10 to 12 people, where you have to handle multiple aspects of game development. So I've seen companies with 5 to 600 people as well in India.
In India, we have 500 to 600 people working on one game, and abroad it's 10,000. So that ratio comes down to 1 is to 200.
Yeah.
In that comparison, can you share the salary expected and the payment in return to the job done in India and abroad? Because that's what our students would like to know because they want to make a career in this field.
Okay, so I'll start with my personal what I am doing. So currently, what I'm being offered is around 10 to 12 LPA lakhs per annum in India. But same role, same opportunity in US. But you'll have to also consider US people has more expenses, right? The economy strategy of both the countries are different. So there I got the same opportunity for the same role for 80 to 90 lakhs a year in US for the same role. But the thing is, their expenses is also, if you'll say US states, their expenses is also for 1 month you are spending like 5 to 6 lakhs in US. So considering that, it's a different. So game development can be compared to YouTube very quickly. As you can see, Indian YouTubers are getting suppose X amount of money. In US, same YouTubers will get 10x money. You can see there is one example of yeah, technical Guruji who is an Indian but who is creating content from Dubai. So you can see the lifestyle difference on both these YouTubers, one from being Indian and one from working from out of India. So there are multiple aspects of it. But in India, you can for starting you can expect more than 10 lakhs. It's very competitive with the computer science engineering. So suppose if you're getting other companies like a software developer, what they are getting paid for, you can get, if you are skilled enough, you'll get the same compensation in India. It's a very competitive market right now.
So with the right qualification, right skill sets, and targeting the right company and the
Hmm.
target audience, maybe they can have a career which they want to go for and maybe the finances they want to earn for. So they have to be very cautious in choosing what they're selecting for themselves, right? And as you
Right.
mentioned, when you were choosing colleges and courses, you did a very thorough research.
Hmm.
So right now also students have to go deeply and find the details of before joining the company, right?
Hmm. Company, or if they're choosing a college, they should always talk to some senior in the
Mhm.
college. What exactly the college is teaching you and how is the placement process goes, because placement is something which can make your life and which can destroy your life. So knowing how placement works for a college, how students are there, how from which background people comes to that place, makes you a better human being. Like that's very important while choosing colleges.
With your experience, you interacted with a lot of students before joining. So was it interacting them on Quora or did they also you went across on the LinkedIn and connecting with them or college website? How did you connect it to the college students before entering the colleges?
Okay, so the first interaction with one was my brother was in NIT. So he had a friend who was a computer science student, and as a hobby, he was developing games. So he was the first person who showed me what the industry is. And after that, most of the conversations were through Quora only. I used to ask them, and mostly I used to go to the uh, college websites. You'll go, every college has an academic section on their website where you can see what programs they offer, what they're gonna teach you in 4 years, and how many placements they have given every year, every year by year. So most of my conversations and resource gathering was through college websites or Quoras. LinkedIn was something I was not aware of at that time. Now people are knowing it, what LinkedIn can be. LinkedIn can be such a great place where you can find professionals directly and talk to them. But at that time, I was not aware of it. So most of my conversation started with Quora and websites through it.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Raghav, we'll come to your question in a moment. But before that, we would like to know from Akash. You mentioned that there are some languages which are required for the students to know if they want to get into this field. Would you like to share what are those languages students should learn? Because there are many courses available nowadays. So maybe along with their engineering or when they are in their 11th and 12th, they can gain mastery on those languages.
Definitely. So I think in 11th and 12th nowadays they teach Python in computer
Students can
science.
make a note of this. Python is one. Yeah.
Yeah, so Python language is very basic, very easy to learn for students. I started with Python when I was in 11th. It was the language which made me interested into programming. It's very basic, beginner friendly, and it gives you creative all the aspects what you can create. So using Python, I created a chat application where we can chat with friends. So for 11th and 12th, and nowadays in schools they teach Python language. So it's good to take it seriously and learn it. After that, if I will talk just specific to game development, C++ is the programming language which is very important for game development specifically. And for mobile, this is for PC game development, C++. For mobile game development, it's C#. C# programming is for yeah. And suppose if you are interested into game art or something like a artistic side where you want to create characters, you want to create animations, you might have seen multiple 3D reels which are not humans, but some balls are dropping, satisfying and all. So you can start learning Blender. It doesn't take time, but if you want to go towards an artist, you want to be an artist, you should learn Blender. It's a very beginner friendly. It's not an industry standard, but Blender can be your starting point. After that, once you go higher, industry standard is Autodesk Maya, which is a paid application. It's like a 90,000 annual subscription of it. It's most of the industry follows it, but for students, I'll suggest Blender. For game designers, I'll suggest playing games, writing about them on social media, what you liked about the games, what is the core thing what you like about a game. For game designers, once you play a game, you should always write reviews about it on Steam or on social media platforms so that you get to people will react to it how you saw the game. So you should always, for game designer, you should always show your perspective. And suppose you played some game and you thought this game's ending is not good. So if you want to be a game designer, you should think what I should have done to make this game fun. And I should post it on social medias like LinkedIn. There are blogs. So there is one Medium website where you can write blogs and all. Writing blog is a very important thing. I used when I started game development and this joined VIT, I started writing blogs a lot. Writing blogs makes pops you off from others. It makes you unique from others. So I'll highly suggest who are really into game designing and they are good story narrators, they are very imaginative persons. They should play games, they should think of a better ending, they should write what they feel, just like a movie critic who writes everything about a movie, right? So that's how what I'll suggest.
That was a great sharing, Akash. So languages, it is Python, C++, C Sharp, and Blender. And if you really are interested in the field of game designing students, you can start creating your own marketing or you can start selling your own thoughts by sharing what you liked by watching a game or how the ending could have been different on social media and start creating your own presence. And as Akash shares, you can also have a blog of your own using a website medium. Yeah, Akash?
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you for sharing that. And for a beginner who wants to get into this field and who is 100% sure, yes, this is my field. I am matching everything over here. Any
Mhm.
advice to the beginners you have?
Okay, so if you're sure that you want to do game development, the first step will be to learn Unity. It's the very beginner friendly application followed by worldwide developers. Unity. So while creating games, there are more than five, six game development softwares. But the basic and the easiest way to learn game development is Unity. It is more mobile focused game development where you will create mobile games, small like chess, tic tac toe, those type of games, but it's definitely the first step every beginner should start with if you're a game developer. Then while once you start creating games, you'll find your passion. And if you are more focused towards computer games, then there comes an Unreal Engine, which is which helps you create triple A level of games. So suppose you're creating a very good powerful looking game which is very beautiful, which is very detailed, then Unreal Engine comes into the play. And there are multiple 2D game development softwares as well, but I'll highly suggest, if to start with, Unity is the way. You should start with Unity.
Thanks for sharing, Akash. So, are these softwares, like if a student goes and do these softwares and learn them, the Coursera and the Udemy and the various websites they have it, can they do it on their own or they need assistance? Is it
I've just
easy, difficult, medium? What it is?
so if you're choosing Unity, I've shared you one link, the easiest way to learn it. There are multiple YouTube channels as well to
Mm.
teach you. And more, if spending money on Udemy is not worth in if you ask me, because there are very talented people out there on YouTube. One of them is Breakies. If you're starting with game development, check out his YouTube channel. He's a fantastical teacher. And okay, so one more thing what I missed out while choosing my game development career, there is one YouTuber called Nikhil Malankar. Okay, he's a game developer. He has his own company in India. He's making one of the games called Mumbai Gullies. If you'll search Mumbai Gullies, you will come across him. He's also a good career mentor. When I was choosing this, I talked with him. He was also new in in this space. He has multiple videos talking about game development, career opportunities, struggles of game development, and how he is surviving his company in India. So that's he's a very good YouTuber. Uh, just search Mumbai Gullies on YouTube, you'll find him. So that
That's
was
a very nice sharing, right? Students would love to watch YouTubes, which are visual and audio both at zero cost and learn something which is more beneficial for them rather than paid courses. And the people who have already worked in this field, you mentioned Preeti and Nikhil, we will definitely interact and get connected with them.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. So one more question we have for you.
Hmm.
Students are, when you work in this field, you're sitting in front of system full day.
Hmm.
So
Yes.
8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, you're sitting in front of PC. So how would you advise the students to take care of their health? Because working on PC is something not very advisable. But then this is your bread and butter.
Hmm. So
So
this
how
is
would you take care of your health and how you have been doing it in the past and what advice you have for students?
So when I literally started, I have after 4 or 5 years, I regret what did in my start. I used to play 18 hours a day. I used to play 18 hours games. Then I used to sleep only 3 hours. This is a very common mistake students do. They harm their body a lot, and gradually you'll cause back problems. Sitting at the same position for 9 to 10 hours is very much difficult. You'll come up with multiple problems. You'll have to go for physiotherapies and all. I have gone through them. It's not very good. You get eye strains. You get eye related issues. So in the start of this, when I started it, I never focused on all that. But soon after, when I started facing problems for eyes, started using blue ray protection glasses. So it basically protect you from the harmful rays of your computer. Then every hour, just taking a 5 minute walk helped me a lot with my back problems. Then yoga meditation was something which I helped me to constraints my anger issues, because once you are playing a lot of games and all, it comes up with impatience, more anger issues. It sometimes it's not that good for your health, but there are ways to overcome them. I use meditation and yoga for my mental peace. I every 1 2 hours I try to get up out of my seat, just get a 5 minute walk, and washing my eyes every 4 5 hours to get my eyes relaxed is something we should always do. But in start, it's very hard. People don't follow all these.
Thank you for sharing. That's a very, very valuable advice. Taking care of your personal health if you want to survive in this field. Taking walks regularly, taking up breaks at regular intervals, maybe every hour, right? And then using protected screens and also following daily rituals, exercises like yoga, meditation. And of course, being keeping yourself hydrated and having a good food routine. Yeah. And
Yeah.
also, as Akash mentioned, that he was in the beginning working for 18 hours. So out of 24 hours, if you're working for 18 hours, that leaves you nothing and loss of health. So thank you for sharing that part also, because students will definitely learn from all of us. Yeah. So if you have more sharings, we would like to know. Otherwise, we can ask students to have the questions. And we have one question in the chat box as well. So any
Sure.
more sharings from you, Akash?
Okay, so I'll just mention few possible job opportunities in the worldwide
Hmm.
choosing this field. So if you're going for a computer science with gaming or something like that, you can be a good architect. Like suppose if you can create buildings for uh, builders and all, that's one aspect of it. You can go into health industry where nowadays people healthcare are starting incorporating games while surgery. So if there's an open brain surgery, people play games to make them active during an operation. So that's one sector. Then there is game development. Second sector, there are interactive metaverse where people go for shopping. AR VR is the industry. So there are AR, VR, health industry, computer industry, uh, building and architecture industry, which are the possible opportunities when you choose the stream. And in spite of this, you can be a good story writer as well. So if you have these skills, it opens up multiple opportunities in your life. So yeah, that's one thing I'll just
That's
want
a
to.
really important sharing, because people look as game development as only entertainment. But what you shared right now is into the field of medicine, real estate, and also in the other areas. Yeah. So students can make a note of this. And we have a question from Raghav. Sir, the content or story writer in games, is it important?
It's very
It will
important.
come to you, Deepika. Yeah. So,
Sure.
yeah.
Uh,
Raghav,
I'll con-
if you
okay,
want
sorry.
to unmute, you can unmute and ask your question. Now we have Deepika and Sanjana over here who were asking questions initially. Mohit and Renuka, you can also ask your questions. Can we have a question from Deepika?
Yeah, hi Akash. First of all, a very informative session. Thank you. We did not know about the details that goes into game development. So thank you for that. And I want to ask you one question: is how reliable Quora is when you are approaching students, like you said, that
Mhm.
connect with your seniors, know about it. So I'm also a career counselor. I have students, so I want to understand the perspective of Quora.
So basically, you create your thought, you ask one questions, and people related to that question will answer you. So it's not just like interacting with one person, it's interacting to the whole community out there who can guide you better. So suppose if I have a doubt like, should I take game development, is it good, I'll just post it. People will give their own opinions, and once you see 10 20 opinions, you'll think you're the way you were thinking was small like this. After knowing what other people thinks, your opinion will change. So for me, Quora worked like that. And suppose if I like someone or someone's opinion, I used to text them personally, ki, why is your opinion like this? And how exactly are you connected to this industry? So,
Okay.
and one of the thing you asked was reliability. So that's we saying truth or who is saying lie, because you might find people who are frustrated by their college and they will misguide you. So you should always consider them, but not make their thoughts the final one. There are people who will misguide you, so it's eventually on you what you think.
Okay, thank you for that. And my second question is there any entrance exam? So computer science, I know, I mean, we have to write JE and other. Apart from that, those who want to take game designing.
So, as if I'll talk about VIT, VIT has their own exams. So, private colleges who provide gaming or other field also, they have their own set of entrance exams. So, there is VI triple E something exam for VIT admissions. For
Mm-hmm.
Manipal, there is Manipal's own exam. For there is Amrita University, which has their own set of exams. So, if from IIT and JEE, you are mostly going to get government-based colleges. So in
Mm-hmm.
government-based colleges, there are very few which are in game development space. And recently only IIT Mumbai started it. But if you want to explore more, you'll have to, the first point what I mentioned was to list down the colleges. Once you start listing down and visiting their websites, they'll promote their exams. The moment you will reach their websites, there will be their entrance exams. So it's very important to
Okay.
give their exams. So there is one Pune-based college, sorry, not CMU. There's so once you start listing down the college names, you'll find their own set of entrance exam. For VIT, it's VI Triple E, Amrita exams. They sell it by Amrita exam only. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
private colleges has their own set of entrance exams.
All right. Thank you very much for sharing.
Yeah, so just I would like to ask Deepika once again. So were you looking at specific colleges for game designing or just for engineering?
Colleges for game designing,
Yeah,
because
even
not everyone would crack IIT, right?
Hmm.
So that was what I was
So
looking for.
actually she wants to know, are there any entrance exams specifically for game designing? For engineering, we know there are exams, but do
Hmm.
any specific game designing entrance exams are there?
In India right now, I don't think so. Mostly colleges specific exams are the only way where you can get admissions.
And they are for general engineering entrance.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thanks, Deepika, for asking that question. Sanjana, I'm aware that you have a list of questions. Would you like to go with it?
Yes, ma'am. Most of the things you have added in there. And the question which I have right now is like, so how was your placement done? Was it like a pre-placement offer or campus selection or self-employing?
Okay. So currently, from last 2 years, in fact, in India or outside India, the placements are down. So there are very less people are losing jobs. In engineering background, there are so many people right now. People are losing jobs, but uh, from the last 2 years. This year, if you talk about the current placement of my college, we had 6,000 students in our college. Out of them, 3,000 students applied for placements in college. Okay. So, and it's been 4 to 5 months in college, and there are like 40% of people are being placed through college. Others are placed by their skills. So all my internships or all my jobs till now, what I have done is through LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the way where you can connect people, you can demonstrate who you are. And once you have the ability to sell yourself and showcase who exactly you are, getting a job is not a good task, not a good, like, it's not a challenge for you. So, but if your current situation of placements are very bad in engineering background, if you look at the news, thousands of people are getting like kicked out of their companies, in big companies, in gaming industry as well. Like thousands of people were just lost their jobs in January month. So and it's not just game development, it's overall engineering I'm telling about, like mechanical engineers, chemical engineers. Currently we have more engineers than the opportunities we have out there. So, and that's what I love, because what I do is game development and not many people right now are doing it. So what I am doing is UEFN. Okay. In entire world, there are 200 to 300 people, just 200 to 300 people who are doing this. So this gives me a more opportunity because it's a very selective field where there are less competition and you can demonstrate more of your skills. So I hope I answered your question, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So it's basically creating a niche for yourself.
Hmm.
Yeah. Raghav says, can you please repeat your field?
Okay, sure. So currently I'm making games inside Fortnite. Okay, so Fortnite is a very huge successful game worldwide. Like I'll just share my screen to make you understand exactly what the field is.
And Sanjana, you can stay back if you have more questions.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
so this is Fortnite. Okay, this is about Fortnite statistics, and I'll show you. My screen is visible, right?
Yes, yes, it's visible.
Mm, So currently, these many players are playing the main Fortnite game right now. Okay, so and if you'll see in Fortnite also you can create multiple games like this. So these are all creators, just like YouTube have multiple creators. Each creator are creating their own games, right? So suppose this is one of the creator, Greasy. Okay, he has 38,000 players right now. If you will check his all-time earnings, uh, for all for 1 month he's earning this amount of money in Fortnite. Just creating, it's just like creating a video on YouTube. So I'm creating games on Fortnite. So based on number of players, you are rewarded with the money, and this is exactly what UEFN is, Unreal Editor for Fortnite. So I'll show you one of like currently in which company I'm working. We have published 8 games till now in within 2 months. So we'll So this is the company. We have like 8 games which are published out there. We are hashtag third 3000 on third 3000 rank, and it for this time they have played our games. So based on this, just like how YouTube creators have been earning, same way game developers earns based on their interaction on games. This is on Fortnite. Suppose if you're creating a mobile game, how many users you are getting on Google Play Store, how many people have clicked on your ads. So on based on ads you earn money on Play Store. So same for computer games, there is Steam where you publish games and based on the number of downloads you get paid for. So this is exactly what my background is. I'm working on Fortnite space. I hope you understand it, right?
Yeah, that was a really good sharing. Thank you for sharing, Akash, that. Yeah. Raghav, is your question answered? UEFN?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you
Thanks.
so much.
Welcome.
Raghav's mother, I mean, we both are sitting together and we're listening to you.
Thank you for letting us know that. Yeah, Sanjana, please go ahead.
Ma'am, my doubts are clear.
Yeah, your doubts are clear. Okay,
Ma'am, my doubts are clear.
thank you. So with that, we come to the end of the session. And before we leave, I would like to thank Akash for sharing so many things which we were not aware of. Because since you are working in this field and you have been digging deep into this, and we got a very good insights from you in all the areas when it comes to personality, interest, institutes, then about the different types of game developers, the 3 levels which you shared. And also you shared about the institutes and the earning potential, as well as a number of people working in a particular game in India and outside. That sharing is really, really required for the students to decide whether they really want to get into this field or not. Yeah. So any last word you want to share with the students over here?
Yeah. So one of the thing what I like to share is everyone should create their own ikigai. It's something what tells you about what do you love, what do you love, what the world needs, what can you be paid for, and what you are good at. Once you understand these aspects of life, you can make better decisions. I'll just showcase you one of my ikigai so that you'll understand what exactly I'm talking about. So I think my screen is sharing, right?
Yes, it's available sharing. Thank you for
Okay,
sharing this, Aakash.
sure. So this is my ikigai. So what I love games, I love art, I like coding, I like stories of different genre, exploring technology. So this is what I love, what I'm good at. So after learning everything, now I have a confidence what I am good at. What can I give to the world? So this is all the list of things. So every individual right now should see what they love, what they are good at. Does what does the world needs around you? As you can see, there are wars going on. They need more kindness, they need more equality. And what can I be paid for? What are the characteristics? What are the attributes I have? I'm committed, I'm flexible. Am I passionate enough for games? Can I think that way? Are my skills aligned with the industry? These are very much important to decide what exactly you want to do in your life. So that's how I basically decide. This one of my mentors in my first job taught me about how to understand yourself more. So understanding yourself is a very important factor. So yeah, that's the last thing I'd like to share with everyone. Thank you.
This last sharing is the most important sharing we have, because not only students, each of us needs to have this ikigai of our own. And it will help us to stay motivated, get paid for what we are doing, and also enjoy what we want to do. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. And with this, we come to the end of the session. It's 5:02. We have taken 2 minutes extra. Before we end, we have Mohit and Raghav. Hetal, I'm sorry. And do you have any more questions with Aakash?
No, ma'am. But I would like to confess one thing that when my son used to tell me that I want to be a game developer, and he used to be, I mean, he's so glued to the mobile and he's in 10th standard. So I feel so worried. He's playing all the time. He keeps on telling me, Mama, I will learn, I will learn. I'll say, what do you learn by that? But today, when I'm listening to Akash ji, I feel like, okay, there is some opportunity, not some, but a lot of opportunity in this segment as well.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
sharing that, Hetal. And yes, yes, definitely there are opportunities. But as Raghav said, first you can go for computer science engineering so that you have a backup available in case there is a change of mind. And before that, if he can write his ikigai,
Yeah.
as Akash has shared, it will definitely be a validation of what he wants and where the earning potentials are there. Yes? Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Mohit, for that note on the chat, and thank you so much. So with that, we would end the session. So thank you, Akash, for being over here today and coming up with so much background work and sharing with the students within 60 minutes, so many details. It's really a power pack session done by you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's
Thank you
amazing.
very much. Yeah, it's a pleasure. Thank you everyone for joining us today.